Hey, good morning, everyone. Nothing like a fresh cup of coffee, fresh ground beans, fresh brewed to start or to have a break, actually. It's morning time here in Samut Prakan, Thailand. I want to talk today about freedom, fun, fitness, finance. I didn't realize actually the business I had built that along the way, just because I wanted to travel, allowed me to get more fit along the journey. Along the journey of freedom, while I made money. And like any financial endeavor, anything that we take on, there's challenges. But those challenges are where we learn in life. I mean, some people whine about them, and all of us say, "Oh my God, I got to do this," or it's all in the head and the mindset. But what we learn along the pathway is that the bigger the challenge, the more challenges we have, the greater the challenge is for us. It pushes us that much farther and that much higher up the ladder of success. And I mean, whatever it is, success is the journey for me. It's not having mega millions in the bank. For some people, it is. That's what they do. They just want to put money in the bank, more money, and that's fine, I think. It depends how they're getting it all. But for others, and I'll share what I've done, is it was all about my freedom, about travel, about living life. And people would go on holidays for a week. And it was very trying, I would see. They did a lot of things, tried to get a lot of things in 7 days, a day getting there, a day getting back, and it was exhaustive. I mean, exhausting. It appeared, and I see people coming home. Oh my God, I'm so glad that trip's over. It's so much work. And I'm like, wait a minute. Something is wrong with this formula. Something is wrong with that form. I didn't do that. I never lived that, but I observed it. And then I became very grateful that I had chosen a pathway that said, how can I travel and make money? How can I go to the places that the tour, like, people want to go in the summertime, like the Maine coast, or out in Cape Cod, or in Newport, Rhode Island, beautiful Newport, Rhode Island. It's gorgeous, full of beautiful sailing yachts, sailboats, beautiful harbor. I had one big customer in Watch Hill, Rhode Island. I would go there and be in his place looking out over the bay, his store, and we were doing business. I'm like, oh my God, the sea breeze is there. And I'd walk away with a couple $1,000 check or cash. What a way to make money. And then I was at the resort, right? I'm at this beautiful summer resort that people pay a lot of money to go to. In the summertime, or out on the Cape in the summertime. Uh, so I would try to travel real early in the morning or real late at night, not get stuck in where everybody else is traveling in the traffic in the middle of the week, not the weekend. And so I would go to the airport on Thanksgiving Day. I would fly back to Thailand when everybody's home eating their bird. I can eat it later or eat it before. So instead of getting all stuck up in the stuff, but back to the point of the freedom, you choose and you go where you want to make the money you want. There's always a little roadside fair or festival someplace where you can stop and sell some jewelry along the way if you want, or there are little shops that you can actually sell to along the way if you're doing reselling. But if you're selling retail, then you can go to a lot of different fairs at the ocean, in the mountains, out in the desert, whatever it is that you like, at fairs that have the passions that connect with you. Isn't that why we go to a fair and a festival? We have some kind of uh, liking for, or some desire to discover something new, a new niche, a new culture, a new food, if it's a food festival or a cultural festival. I mean, there's all kinds of very cool cultural festivals, which is like traveling around the world without traveling around the world. And you can make money at those places while you're enjoying the richness of a new culture. Discovery. Now, when you're at a fair and a festival and you're putting displays out, you've got to bend and twist. Maybe in this intro, you saw some of those displays. Well, you put them in the back of your car or a motorhome or a travel trailer or in your SUV or in the trunk of your small car. You don't need a lot. Jewelry is small, compact, easy to handle, but what you get out of it, you don't have to go to the gym. Oh my God, I got to go exercise. It's a job. You don't get paid for it. You have to pay for it in most cases. It's inside, it's stuffy. Some people like gyms. I honor that, of course. For me, I'd rather stay out of them. Okay. Outside, rowing a boat, riding a bicycle, swimming. That's me. That's my, and maybe yours too. But whatever it is that you like, outside, fresh air, sunshine, and a little rain every now and then is nice. Listen to the pitter patter. So you're out picking up the displays, put them on the table. They're all full. You fill them up at your house or in your motorhome. You organize it's all there. It's turnkey. So what do you have to do? You're standing up, right? You have to reach out, get the credit card, give them your phone to swipe it. Swipe that credit card, collect that money. So you choose, oh, someone's over here. You have to go there. Give them your phone there and get the money, get the finance, reach out, take the cash. You're always moving, you're smiling, you're on your feet. And some people say, oh God, I've been on my feet all day. Well, I'll tell you what, I've been on my feet all day, all my life, just about. I'm here sitting, but at fairs, festivals, and events, I remain energized. And some people, it's like, but how do you show up? What's your diet like, and how do you where does your energy come from? If you're not doing what you like to do, then your energy can easily drop. You can lose it. You can lose the enthusiasm if you're not doing what you love or like to do. Because after a while, and you start getting an income, you start to like it a little more. Sometimes the fairs that maybe you weren't going to go to, but you could make a little extra money, you take a stop there. And you never know who you're going to meet. So a little advertisement here. Peter Stone has a referral program. So as you're driving down the program around the highway and you walk into a store and you see some jewelry and you're talking to these people and you want to say, hey, oh, I know you should connect with this company. You can make a little money on the side that way without even any inventory. So have some fun. And you go into stores, it's a social thing, isn't it? And you go and you look and you have fun and you talk and you learn and you observe and you move on. So it is a life that I have chose, and when I listen and see people and they're not really happy doing what they're doing, I say just get out and do it, take the risk. I mean, when I really started out, I made a lot of money on merchant ships, but I spent a lot of money on merchant ships and around the world. So there was times when I said I'm going on a trip. I had $350 in my hand, but I went on a trip for 3 weeks up into the Himalayas. I said, I'm going. And so we have to, what seems like a risk, we find out ways. And when I went on that trip, I ended up coming back on a bus from the mountains in the Himalayas from a place called Gangtok in Sikkim, which is a state of India. It used to be an independent country, a little kingdom next to Nepal and south of Tibet and the other country on to the east that not everybody can get into. So I went up there and it was such a discovery. But the lesson was on the way back, there wasn't a rental car to take up there. There was no airplane to fly there. So on the way back, I sat on this wooden seat for 18 hours going through these villages all night long. Yeah, people on the top of the bus and all. Nice clean bus, nice clean seats, noisy, hard. And I said, never again. I said, the next time I go on this trip, I'll be driving a Land Rover. So I set myself up in the mindset, set a goal, and I actually, when I got back to Bangkok, I cut all these magazines up and I put the Land Rover in the basket. And I had a little Suzuki Caribbean Jeep in Thailand. For 5 years, it was tight, it was small, it was black, it was hot, but it did the job for 5 years. And then I said, it's time. And oddly enough, the first place, the magic of life, when you put the energy in it. Excuse me, I've got somebody coming in here that shouldn't be. Skype call, so we'll just put that to the side. So when I went to buy a car, there it was sitting in front of me, 1996 Land Rover. Like I didn't have quite enough money. I sold the car, took the gold off my neck, and as magic would have it, 1996 is the year that there was a financial collapse here in Thailand. My wife said, "I'll get a 2-year mortgage or a 2-year loan for the part that we didn't have the cash for." And I said, no, make it 4. And she won. And I got a 2-year loan on it. And in 3 months, the exchange rate doubled for the baht. So when I bought that, the exchange rate for the dollar was 24.5 baht to a dollar. And in 3 months, it went to 53 baht. So I got the payments cut in half. And I gave everyone in my factory a 15% raise because I couldn't give them a raise for so long. And the rest is history. So the adventure, when you go outside of your comfort zone and you go for freedom, go for the things, go for your dreams, the money will show up. You figure it out. I mean, go look at the stories after story after story. My story is no different than a bunch of other people that decided. There's a small percentage of people that really take that action. Sorry. Jet ski. I rode so hard last weekend in the islands of Thailand in this, oh my God, like 3 and 4 foot seas. Like I was riding hard. That's it. So the adventure continues. Life never stops until you drop. You dance till you drop. So enjoy the journey. Engage here. Look, subscribe and see how actually, is it easy? No, it's simple. It's simple to get moving with the things that you really want. Just get in the direction. And because you do it with a passion, people show up, things show up, solutions show up. God shows up, the universe shows up. Your higher power, your greater power comes to serve you. That is the law of abundance. That is the secret. And it won't work if you don't expect it to work. If you're doubting, if you doubt, that's what you're going to get. And so, this conversation I had with this gentleman a couple days ago, he was like, I hope. I go, no. I say, expect the best to happen. And that took me a very long time to learn, a long time to live in that mindset. Because I always looking at the challenge, looking at the problems, looking at the not the solutions. But when the solutions started showing up, then the challenges fell away in the sense that because I turned my thinking around that weight of problems and challenges was no longer a weight because I knew there was a knowing, there is a knowing that no matter how big the challenge is, got a lot of help. There's no worry because I expect the best to happen, and it does. When, how, I don't know. That doesn't matter. But what does matter is that it happens. The best happens always and beyond our expectations, because our expectations are low, but God's gifts are much bigger than what we would want for ourselves. So if we don't get what it is we want, when we want it or when we think we should get it, we think we failed. No. Hang out a while. Just don't give up and don't quit. And God, the universe, higher power, whichever way you look at it, has something so good in mind for you because you put forth the effort and your mindset was such that you are in the mindset you deserve it because that's why you're here. That's the law of abundance. That is the secret, the book I never read, the movie I never saw, and the gallery that I opened in England called the Gallery of Secrets because I knew the secret a long time ago. I've been living it. And some people, it doesn't work. No kidding. Doesn't work because your mindset is that of doubt. So you can get out and have that freedom. All this comes full circle to freedom, fitness, finance, and fun. You say, I got an aching back, all this. Okay, so I'll tell you. Last weekend, riding my jet ski really hard, I'm doing like 25, 30 miles an hour, but in rough seas, that's fast. And I'm dancing with the universe, with God. I'm dancing with the waves. And I've been doing this for a long time. And I'm in new places on these islands I've never been to, in oceans I've never been before, and in driving over reefs. I don't know how deep it is. And I'm doing this discovery. And I hit a wave and it like, boom, it crunched me and I felt it. But everything just compressed a little bit because I stayed fit. I was riding my bike this morning and I'm doing this really hard exercise with weights on my wrist and riding. And as I said in a video before, 30 years ago, I realized when we strengthen our back and strengthen our body, we can take on anything and be resilient. Yeah, it hurts a little bit. Yeah, well, it doesn't feel good. But my point is, if you have pains and you think, I can't, it's a lot of work to get out to a fair, to a festival, I got to bend, I got a back hurt, get out of the chair, get up and move. I'm not a doctor, but I can tell you what, I have changed my whole life because I moved. And does it hurt? Am I stiff sometimes? I am. Do I not feel like doing it sometimes? Yes, absolutely. But you know what I know? I know that when I do it, afterwards, I always feel better. I get a smile on my face, a fire, a little spark inside. And then I can say, you did it. You feel better. So next time it's so much easier. So that's fun. And because I stay fit, you may be fit too, and you get out and you have fun. You can make the money with something small, compact, precious metals. You really want to get into precious metal. A little side note that I'm in the jewelry business. I've been selling jewelry at fairs, festivals, and events for a long time. And the price of metals have gone up, and sometimes I bought the wrong stuff. And when I melted it, I made a profit. You can't do that with t-shirts. You can't do that with candles. You can't do that with a lot of things. I mean, food, it spoils. I mean, so this one gentleman who does fairs, festivals, and he's been doing it for a long time, longer than me. Maybe no, not quite, but he's been doing it for a long time. And he said, I got to go back to America, Peter, because this is 2020. And then he's thinking, how am I going to get going in 2021? At the end of last year, he went back and he's like, I don't worry about the jewelry, but my clothes will rot if I don't sell them. They'll get moldy, they'll rot, they'll get smelly. He says, I got to go back. And he did, and he knocked it out of the park. So the difference is between having that jewelry is the difference between having to do it and deciding when you really want to do it. And all of it comes out to the formula that I call the Peter Stone journey, but I particularly call it the Peter Stone jewelry journey because I'm out living a life of freedom. I'm staying fit. So I our newsletter. We always do. So in the world while you travel and enjoy.